Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Borders and Beyond. Thank you all for coming on to watch us, our episodes. For those of you who are coming back, we appreciate you and thank you very much. And for those of you who are new, please, you're more than welcome and thank you very much for coming to check out our content. To all of you, we make an appeal. Please subscribe and give us a thumbs up as we continue to evolve this channel into a more dynamic platform where we talk about not just geopolitics, we talk about what's the latest in the movies and what's happening in sports and things like that. But it's basically so that we're trying to make sure that we're catering to a larger audience. But this platform is basically designed for just talk about geopolitics, sports, and what's currently happening, current events, and things like that. So once again, thank you very much. Today I have a very special guest. I mean, the original founder of this platform, the Borders and Beyond. I have with me Alok. We're going to be talking about Bangladesh and obviously what's currently happening in Bangladesh. Naturally, Alok is going to dive deep into the weeds, and he's also going to talk about the implications to India and where he sees this whole thing going and ending up. So on that lovely note, let me welcome Alok. Alok, how are you, mate?
I'm good, Chaco, and how are you doing?
I'm all right, mate. I'm very, very good. I'm very good. I appreciate it. Happy New Year. It's just the beginning of the year. Happy New Year. Good to see you. You look all very smart, mate.
So do you.
Thank you. I do, don't I? Well, look, I've just done the quick introduction. We're going to be talking about Bangladesh. So yeah, I'll just hand it over to you. I'll start off with a very simple question, mate. What do you think of what's happening in Bangladesh, and where do you see this all ending up? And yeah, so let's just start it off with there.
So, the general opinion in
Hmm.
the world, according to the West, is that there was a popular uprising
Yes.
against Sheikh Hasina. Apparently, the she was sort of a dictator.
Hmm.
She was corrupt, and the opposition wasn't getting enough space there, and
Hmm.
people thought that let's go out in the street and overthrow her,
Hmm.
and started off with the students coming out in the streets protesting, and then very soon the opposition also joined them,
Hmm.
and then you have this party called the Jamaat-e-Islami, uh, which has been there for a very long time, but was not really part of the mainstream politics.
Yeah.
And yeah, it supported the students, and the opposition, the BNP, was also part of these protests. Long and short, some people were shot apparently by the police or the military, and
Hmm.
eventually Sheikh Hasina had to flee the country.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, the students then said that they were going to set up a council to run the country, and to help
Yes.
them,
Hmm.
they had a Nobel Prize laureate, Muhammad Yunus, come in
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
become the chief advisor.
Hmm.
And the new government, or so-called government,
Hmm.
was formed by him
Hmm.
leading the government, and the protesters, the student protesters,
Hmm.
them also joining the government as advisors.
Okay.
So that was what happened.
Hmm.
But are we ready to take that as the correct narrative?
Hmm.
Because behind anything that happens in the world today, there are different powers playing, right?
Indeed. Yes.
So if some great power doesn't like what you're doing, or they think that you're not favoring them, they find ways of moving you out from power, and replacing you with someone else who would listen to them.
Mm. Chandri, me and you are old enough. We both studied in Africa and we saw a lot of what happened there, right?
Yep.
And there was a time when it was a great power politics was going on around the world. I mean, he came from Ethiopia and you knew what happened there. You escaped literally overnight. We both saw that, right? Are we back into the days, the good old days, or the bad days of great power politics?
Great power politics has always been in play, Chaco, ever since human beings have come to this world.
Hmm.
So there was never a time when great powers didn't play each other's to create rules to suit themselves, and everybody else
Indeed.
had to follow them, right? Because if you
Yeah.
don't follow them, you're against them. So that's always been the case,
Yeah.
and uh, every time it is either you are not giving them as the resources they require.
Hmm.
This could be oil, this could be rare earth, or it could be a strategic area where they think that they need to come in and keep an
Hmm.
eye on the rival power forces that are there in that region.
Yeah.
So in this case, the Americans were very interested in taking over an island called Martin Island. Well, that's
Oh,
similar to
thank you. Thank you very much, Chaudhry.
Martin Island. That particular island is not a very large island. You can hardly
Hmm.
build a runway on it, not to talk of building a base. But that allows America to keep an eye on China and India.
Yeah.
So they had asked Sheikh Hasina it's around 2022, 23 that they wanted that. And the Americans, or rather the think tanks in the US, they had sort of different plans of setting up a quasi Christian state around
Hmm.
that area, where they would probably take in some parts of India, the northeastern states, parts of Bangladesh, and then set up a neo Christian state. Because if you are aware, the northeast in India has been a little volatile over a period of time,
Hmm.
largely because it was ignored and was allowed to do its thing. And states like Manipur and
Hmm.
Mizoram, uh, the major religion overwhelmingly there is the Christian faith, right?
Hmm.
And because of the Northeast state, since independence had largely been ignored, there wasn't much infrastructure there. Uh, it was ignored. So people thought they were left out, right?
Yep.
They didn't sort of consider themselves as part of
The national
the the
national
national
fabric.
national fabric.
Yeah.
Uh, you had small armed rebellions happening
Hmm.
there, whether it was Assam, whether it was Mizoram, whether it is Manipur,
Hmm.
was Tripura. But since 2014, things started changing.
Yep.
Uh, the prime minister had set up a policy called Look East, and a lot of infrastructure started coming up there. A lot of
Yep.
investment started going in there
Hmm.
to draw people closer
Hmm.
and to make lives better for the people out there.
Hmm.
And very soon we started seeing the governments change from the Congress or the other parties that were there,
Hmm.
uh, moving over to the BJP.
Yeah.
In Assam, we ended up having a BJP government. In Tripura, we had a BJP government. In Mizoram,
Mm-hmm.
There was a BJP government. It was not exactly a BJP government, but it was a what do you call? They came into power with the help of the local parties there,
Mm-hmm.
a coalition government,
Mm-hmm.
and things started looking good. A lot of the rebellions died down. Assam, it was completely negotiated. They made peace deals with the northeastern rebel groups and
Mm-hmm.
got them to join the mainstream politics. So
Mm-hmm.
things started quieting down that on that end. In Bangladesh, around the same time, before Sheikh Hasina came into power, I think it was 2007,
Mm-hmm.
2008, we
Yeah.
had the BNP. Uh,
So,
BNP
Chandra, can I
was,
stop you there? Can I stop you there for 1 second? Can you please explain to our audience what the BNP, what is the BNP? It's a political party. What is it called? What's the BNP stand for? Is it Bangladesh National Party or something else?
yeah, it is the Bangladesh National Party.
Who leads it? Is it Khaleda Zia's party?
Yes, it is Khaleda
Okay.
Zia's party.
Okay. Gotcha.
Awami League is the party that Sheikh Hasina headed.
Right. Okay. Gotcha.
So basically, it was a two-party state.
Yeah.
Jamaat-e-Islami was there
Yeah.
uh, even before
Now,
1971. But the negative point about Jamaat-e-Islami was that it did not want to separate from Pakistan and wanted to stay with Pakistan, right?
right. Yeah. Okay. So their biggest issue. So the Jamaat-e-Islami always wanted to be part of Pakistan.
They wanted to be part of
So
Pakistan.
hence they got relegated to the back end both by Khaleda Zia and Awami, or is it just Awami League that put them in the back seat?
So the BNP did have a sort of a arrangement with the Jamaat-e-Islami,
Right.
uh, and okay, and to understand what how actually all these things came up, we need to go back to around 1971.
Right. Okay.
Uh,
I mean, you can
the
to do a quick synopsis if you want to, just
Yeah.
to just get get
So
get 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 some background into it. Yes.
yeah. So how did Bangladesh come into existence?
Sure.
So Sheikh Mujibur Rahman had won elections in Pakistan when
Yes.
both East Pakistan and West Pakistan were won.
Yeah.
However, the West Pakistan didn't want to hand over power to him.
Yeah. Because he was from East Pakistan.
He was from East Pakistan,
Sure.
and he was put under house arrest. So, and the people in East Pakistan,
Yeah.
they started fighting for independence,
Sure.
and the Pakistani army
Yeah.
tried to put down the rebellion there. And in that act, they ended up killing a lot of people, raping women, and
Hmm.
we had an influx of refugees coming in from East Pakistan into India, and
Hmm.
the number of refugees was so large that India at that point in time decided to say, okay, fine, enough is enough. We can't handle all these refugees. We need to help these guys break off.
Hmm.
And the other thing is that the cultural language issues between East Pakistan and West Pakistan were completely different, right?
Yeah. So
West Pakistan is
They're
more,
more Bengali in East Pakistan, am I
yeah,
right?
Pakistan was primarily Bengalis, and West Pakistan was Punjabis, Sindhis, and Pashtuns, and all that you have.
Yeah.
So they're sort of two opposite spectrums.
Yeah.
So they went to war, uh, and India was helping Awami League. There was a Awami League there. They
Mm.
had some freedom fighters who were trained, and India followed in after Pakistan attacked India
Hmm.
and went into Pakistan and broke up, helped deliver independence to Bangladesh.
Yeah.
So Sheikh Mujibur Rahman became the first prime minister of
Hmm.
Bangladesh. Awami
Hmm.
League was there. But then, unfortunately, 2 years down the line, or was it 3 years down the line, He was overthrown
mm,
and killed, and Khalida Zia's husband, General Zia, took over power and was in power. And again, he was there in power for again, I think, for about 4 5 years before he was overthrown. And you had another general come in called General Irshad,
mm,
and he was in power for quite some time.
mhm,
In the meantime, Sheikh Hasina was leading Awami League, and
mhm,
Sheikh Zia, Khalida Zia, was
mhm,
heading the Bangladeshi National Party.
mhm,
They sort of got together to take on General Ishad, and BNP won the election that year, and Khalida Zia became the first female Prime Minister of Bangladesh. And since then, it was either Khalida Zia or Sheikh Hasina who would come into power. So basically, it was a two-party state.
mhm,
BNP always had a anti-India stance most of the time. Though on paper it was we are all friends, but behind the scenes, they were Bangladesh was interfering in the northeast issue, where they would supply arms, and they
mhm.
would also provide a safe haven to the rebels there, right? And her party also had close contacts with the Islamic radical parties there, right? Like Islami and the other new factions that came up later on.
Mhm. Mhm.
So when Sheikh Hasina came into power, she tightened the screws on Jamaat Islami and the radical Islam groups and put them
Mhm.
in jail, and they
Mhm.
were there since I think she came back. Second time she came back into power around 2009, I believe. Yeah, so from 2009
Yeah.
till 2024, that's 15 years, she was in
Yeah.
power.
Yeah.
And Awami League always had some better relationship. Let's put it wasn't that great, but yes, we can say that yes, we had better relations with the Awami League,
Mm.
and she was able to address some of our India's security concerns
Yeah.
with regards to the northeastern rebels and
Yeah.
any radical Islam terror that could happen across the borders, right?
Yeah.
So, like I said, around 2022, 23, the Americans approached our friend Sheikh Hasina and asked that
They wanted Martin Island.
Martin Island be given to them,
Yeah.
and she refused.
Mm.
And from that time onwards is when the process of trying to get her out of power started.
Yeah.
And you know how narratives start coming up once the great powers decide that that she needs to be moved up. Suddenly, she became a dictator. Suddenly, she was putting down. She was hard on the opposition groups, and things like that started happening. You know, the good thing about Bangladesh was that with BNP in power and with Sheikh Hasina, the economy started doing really well, right? And
Yeah.
why
Look,
was it doing well? That
yeah.
was because the textile industry was supported largely by India,
Yeah.
where they were provided cotton and other things. I also know that the Indian government during Sheikh Hasina's time
Yeah.
cut back on their textile production so that
Mm.
Bangladesh should have an edge there to help them so that their economy would do well, right? And yeah,
So there was a bit of a quid
so
pro quo, would you say, between understanding with the government? So India says, okay, we will not do anything. on the textile front, you do it, and we will also give you access to our ports and things like that.
Yeah, to ports, whether it's the airports, whether it is the seaports,
Yeah,
the trade was going through without any hindrance,
yeah,
and there were also some water sharing agreements that came into place, and then
yeah,
uh, some of India's private players were providing electricity to Bangladesh.
yeah,
Uh, so a lot of work was done along those lines, right?
yes,
And so we would be very safe to say that yes, Indian relationships with Bangladesh were doing pretty well
yeah,
along when Sheikh Hasina was there. But Sheikh Hasina, she was also later on trying to uh, play a double game with China and India. Uh,
okay,
and yeah, so because China had been trying very hard to get into the Indian Ocean zone. Mind you, China does not have a warm water port access to the Indian Ocean,
yeah,
and they've always been trying to do that, right?
yeah.
So whether it is coming in through Pakistan or coming in through Bangladesh.
Doesn't I'm sorry, can I ask the question here? I mean, don't they have a port in Pakistan which is a warm water port?
Yes, it is Gwadar, but it's still not very functional.
Why is it not functional? The Balojis have been
That
blasting it up or something like that?
yeah, there's been a lot of resistance for
Right.
China to be using that, right?
Okay.
And there are many parties there that uh, do that.
Okay.
That is the that's a conversation, another
For
conversation
another day.
that we
All
can
right. No
happen.
worries.
So what is happening there?
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, the protest started against Sheikh Hasina,
Yeah.
and when they were going to have the election in when was it 2023? Yeah,
Yes.
2023. All the opposition parties decided to boycott it.
Mm.
Just a few decided to say, okay, we will be fighting the election. So since the opposition parties was not there, Sheikh Hasina strode back into power again. And a year later is when we started seeing people coming out into the streets, the
Mm.
students
Hmm.
uh, started off, and yeah, we came back again to August 2024 when she had about half an hour in her hands to leave
Mm.
Bangladesh.
Mm. Okay.
So
Let
that is
me.
how it is.
Right.
So currently now we in Bangladesh we have Yunus and the
Mm.
students got together and they have registered a party called NCP, National Citizens Party. So it is made up of the students and the uh, some parts of the Bangladeshi intelligentsia that are part of that,
Hmm.
and they were hoping that things would change. They would get over
Hmm.
the corruption, the economy would improve, there would be fairness in the system, whatever that means.
Yeah.
But that doesn't seem to have happened in the past 1 year, right?
No.
So the first thing what these guys did, rather Yunus did, okay, was release all the Jamaati and the hardcore Islamic radical groups that were in jail, in
Mm.
camps,
Mm.
and brought them out in the streets. And once these guys came out in the street, they started ruling the streets, right? That's where
Mm.
they get their street power from. And because at this point in time, you can say there's a vacuum of power with Awami League being banned,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
so
so
that it
so
can't
here
participate uh, in the future
in the
elections that are
election.
coming
Okay.
up,
Yeah. In
and
February.
uh, the uh, the Jamaat Islami attacking anybody that is suspected of being an Awami League supporter.
Mm.
Violence is the name of the game these days, right?
Yep.
So lots of people have got killed, lots of businesses have been burned down, people are attacked on the mere
Yeah,
suspicion of being either an Indian agent or being an Awami League agent.
yeah,
So we see that we are sort of getting into heading towards chaos. Okay, because uh, uh, before I go into that, so there's Mr. Yunus wanted elections in
February.
2027, right?
Oh, okay.
Towards 2026, end of 2026.
Yeah,
But then the Bangladeshi National Party at that point in time sort of forced him to change his mind. And I think the army also wants to have the elections much earlier.
right.
And they decided to have the elections in February 2026.
Yeah.
What is actually funny is that there is no gazetted notification that the previous parliament is dissolved or and the government is dismissed.
Okay. So they're still running
So on uh,
on paper.
legally, the parliament is still in place and the government is still running. So I don't know. I don't see how they will get over that
Legal
legally
issue.
because
Yeah.
it's a legal issue, right?
Well, they can do the Pakistan thing. Every time, just they just go and the military just says, "Okay, we or whoever it is, just say we don't recognize it anymore." Can I do a quick synopsis under the Hasina era? As you said, she started in 2009, and obviously got overthrown by supposedly student-led protest. During that time, obviously, there was a marked improvement in the economics. They were getting a 6% growth at some time. At some stage, they were even doing better than India, right? And then one of the things she was kind of no nonsense kind of a person in a way. And she basically put people who were from the Jamaat Islami. Some of them were actually sentenced to death for collaborating with Pakistan, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
And then obviously the BNP and all those guys, they decided not to participate. And obviously, as you mentioned, kind of felt like it was a one-party rule, but it's not technically. It is still it was I know it still is a well, I can't say it is was a democracy, right? Now, as you mentioned, the street power has come into play. Naturally, great power politics is in play, and the other side has now got the power, and they have now decided that they are not going to allow the Awami League to participate. But the Awami League brought up, if I'm not mistaken, as about 35% of the electorate, which is basically excluding. So there's nothing different from what Awami League did to what these new guys are doing. So basically, they're doing the same thing. They're banning the other side, or not technical. Well, in this particular case, they're banning Awami League, which is 35% of the electorate, which is one third of the electorate. So my question to you is, if you ban one third of the electorate, right? This is a recipe for one, for problems, two, for instability, three, for continuous problems. In the sense, it is going to start affecting India. What are your thoughts on that?
So yes, it is a recipe for
It is
long-term
up. Yeah,
disaster. I would say
yeah,
uh, there is a growing division among the country there, right?
yeah,
So you have people who are demanding Sharia law in Bangladesh.
yeah,
They have tried to attack the parliament two times in the past couple of months,
yes,
and uh, yeah, I see things not settling down very soon there. We've started seeing new players coming into Bangladesh as well.
yeah,
We have the Pakistanis reaching out to old brother,
hmm
in Bangladesh,
Yeah.
and a lot of the military ranking officers are there, uh, supposedly trying to stabilize the country for them. But of course, they have other intentions.
Yes.
Bangladesh, Pakistan has never actually forgotten that Bangladesh was part of their history,
Yes.
and they want to try and see if they can get back there,
Yes.
which they may succeed or may not succeed. But then it also gives them an opportunity to open up a second front against India.
Yeah.
So it becomes a two-way thing, right?
Yes.
Uh, even
So do you feel so?
our friend Asim Munir, after Operation Sindoor, so the
Hmm.
next attacks would start coming in from the east, right?
Yeah. So basically, they're hands off. You know. So our take is that we have a very hostile stand towards the West. But do you think his political thinking, or he's putting your political hat on? Do you think he's thinking, all right, let's park our side up a little bit and let's get things heated up in the east? And will India go in and attack Bangladesh as they wantonly go in and attack in West Pakistan? Is that a calculation there, or
Yes,
what
that
do
is
you?
the calculations, and
Right.
mind you, the Jamaat-e-Islami, okay, the Jamaat
Yes.
is a strong supporter of Pakistan,
Indeed.
and at this point in time, they are what. Since they have the power, I would put it that way, because even the
Yeah.
NCP, the National Citizens Party, UNICEF party, is sort of being
Yes.
sidelined.
Yeah.
It's like it's very safe to say that it has been hijacked, right?
Yes.
And so it is an open door for Pakistan.
Yeah.
They would try and do what they have to do. Okay,
Okay.
so yes, but then would India sit quietly? I doubt that. Uh,
No, so here's my thing, all right, Chaudhry, and correct me if I'm wrong, and tell me whether I'm also wrong. So we already have a problem with Pakistan in the West, right? And so that's one side. We have a problem on the top, right, which is China with the Tibeti, obviously that part of it, Galwan and things like that. And then we have that we have now well we now have a problem in the east. So basically, if you look at India like that, we've got the left side and the right side and the top. We have problems all around, right? That is
so
going to
it's,
give us
you have
very
rings of fire being lit around you.
yeah, correct. So
They attempted
obviously
that in Nepal. Okay,
yeah,
Nepal, China is already there. Pakistan was already there, and then you have now what is it? Bangladesh. They tried Sri Lanka, and then they tried Maldives as well. So somehow or the other, we've been able to put out the fires in Maldives, Sri Lanka,
temporarily.
and Nepal. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So
So
no
then
condition in
and Sri Lanka.
politics is permanent, right? So
Okay.
we would assume that it is they put out the fire at this point in time. So
Okay.
we are
So
looking at they're trying to the powers to be are
yes.
trying to engage India in a three-front war at some point in time. But two-front war, yes, they want India to get sucked into a war with Pakistan. Operation Sindoor was part of that, but India was smart not to get into that.
Yes.
They didn't expect the kind of response that came from India, and the way India was able to put everything out within 4 days and sit back and enjoy.
Yeah.
So that was a shock to to a lot of people,
Okay.
because
So, but that's going to
they were
come back.
expecting a Ukraine kind of a situation to happen where India would get sucked into that,
Yeah.
but that didn't happen.
Okay. So my thing is now, okay, well, that didn't happen, but there's no guarantee in the future it's not going to happen.
Uh, an India-Pakistan war is going to
Yeah.
happen, Chaco, and
Eh?
it might happen. It is going to happen, and it's going to be a quick, fast one, but a proper war. Again, most likely in 2026,
Oh, really? So give me your prediction. When do you think this is going to happen?
April, May.
Really? Wow,
The
that's
star,
a
the
bombshell.
star, the stars are aligning.
Right. Okay. Wow, wow, wow. Okay. So you reckon we're going to go into a hot war again?
We are. It's good, but this is not like a Operation Sindoor where it was just hit stuff and come back. This is
Yes.
actually a war where you go in
Yes.
and you fight it out.
Yes.
However, it is going to be a quick and fast war.
There's no war that is quick and fast. I mean, Operation Sindoor is an exception to the rule, but I mean, no war has been quick and fast, Chaudhary.
Uh, let's go
Well,
back to
all our wars with Pakistan has been quick and fast.
1971.
Yes.
1971.
Yes. I know. I knew you're going to pull me up on that one now. Very sure. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah,
But
so yeah,
generally, the
there
world
are quick
around.
wars as well, right? Uh, I think we have the resources and the will to go in for a quick war. And Pakistan, it can't sit quietly for too long. It's always itchy to try and get back at India, one way or the
Indeed.
other. And
Yes.
they are going to attempt, and they're going to get hit back again.
Yes.
Uh, and if you remember the Delhi bomb blast that supposedly happened in what was it in December? No, it was in
Yes.
November.
Yeah. December.
November.
No, actually, they picked them up in November,
Yeah,
and
in
I remember.
November.
Yeah, and I remember you saying that they were planning to do this on the around the eve of when Putin was planning to visit.
Yeah. So the investigation for that has gone very deep. They have picked up, they busted a lot of cells,
Yeah.
and they are putting all the evidence together. And the rules, the red
Yeah.
line that Mr. Modi relayed after Operation Sindoor was that if you are going to attack India, both the perpetrators and the people who sponsor them
Yes.
would be hit.
Okay. It's going to be all right. So circling back to Bangladesh, obviously, implications for India. So in the short term, okay, let's talk short term, all right? And the short term I'm talking about is a quarter. So January to what? March, April. Obviously, there is an election supposed to happen in February in Bangladesh. And I'm assuming, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Khalida Zia's party more than likely is going to win, and that if or there would be a significant, they will win some of it, and obviously the Jamaati Islami might win some, and or naturally the or not naturally, probably the student party, whatever the National Democratic Front (NDF)
No,
would also win some. I'm assuming. But my question to you is, okay, well, how do you see that panning out? A quarter and say half a year and then 1 year? And where do you see this all? And where do you think, how is India going to manage this?
uh,
I'm sorry to ask you
so,
such a difficult question.
no, no. So, I mean, the government can speak only to a government that is in charge, right?
Yes,
And who you can work with.
yes,
Yunus is not, I wouldn't call him a government. He's an advisor, so you can't speak to an advisor, right?
yes.
So that's why they've been kept at arm's length. We haven't seen any major conversations happening with
Okay,
the caretaker government. India has reached out to PNP a number of times
okay. I think
because
she.
they've worked with them before, so they think that they can work with them.
Mm,
But I don't know how they would react to, let's assume the Jamaati wins the elections.
Hmm.
uh, how they would work with them. But eventually, at some point in time, yes, you need to talk to them, right? So, yeah, they would talk to them. But knowing that Jamaati or the radical Islamic groups, if they come into power, it's not going to be an easy sailing for India, right? So India probably would need to tighten their two screws to ensure that whoever is there uh, follows toes the line or doesn't do anything that is inimical to India.
So let me ask you, you did mention tighten the screws just now. What kind of screws does India have, or leverage, as you I would call it, does India have, or whichever government that comes into power in Bangladesh?
So the first thing is the water sharing agreement that India has with
Hmm.
Bangladesh.
Hmm.
It is due for renewal. When is it? Next month? Yep,
Hmm.
around the same time. India has a lot of the food items, eatables, go to Bangladesh from India, whether it
Hmm.
is potatoes, onions, tomatoes,
Hmm.
electricity power
Hmm.
goes there. So these are some of the screws that are there, right?
So the economic levers, and including including the ports and use of the ports and things like
So
that.
the use of ports is already stopped. They can't use them, right?
Right. Okay.
Both the seaports and the airports, there's a restriction on for them.
Right. Okay. So the economic levers are quite possibly something that we can apply and put pressure on, such as listen, play to toe the game or play the game or suffer the consequences.
Yeah,
So
and
I mean, any government that comes into power, me and you have seen this, right? When we were in Nigeria, any government that comes into power, initially there's a lot of euphoria. I remember when Babangida came, and then and all those guys, we were all euphoric, right? I was there, you were there. Um, so one of the things that is a problem in Bangladesh is the youth unemployment, which is approximately what 85%, 87% kind of a thing. If we tighten the screws and that is still a problem, do you think there would be another street demonstration, or is that what we are aiming for another overthrow, or what is it that would be
so
looked?
the demonstrations have not stopped, Chaco, have they?
I don't know. You know better than I
It
do.
it,
So
it,
they
it
are
is
not
it is
stopped.
it is it's happening almost every day there, right? And
Hmm.
it's happening every day, and people are still getting targeted and killed, injured, women
Hmm.
getting raped. So all that is still
Yeah.
happening.
Yes.
Uh, it doesn't look to me. And one thing, I don't know if you realize this. The caretaker government has announced the elections for 11th of February.
Okay.
However, when the votes would be counted is not disclosed, and when the election results should be announced is also not announced yet. Against that, it is TBD, to be discussed later, right?
That's
So
an
what does that
interesting
tell
way.
you?
What does that mean?
You tell me what that means.
I don't know. I mean, I have no idea. I mean, if you hold an election, you're supposed to what? I mean, you said we're going to release the results. So are we holding elections for the sake of elections and then what? No results? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, maybe they want to manipulate the results if it doesn't go their way, and
Okay.
then come up with the results. Or there's something funny going on there, Chaku, because when you have elections, when you announce elections, you also
Yeah.
announce when the counting would be done or votes would be done,
Yeah.
and when the results would be announced. And the next step would be when would the new government come into power. But
Right.
that's not been done.
So, by the sound, can I? I'm going to ask you this question in a very funny way. Are you trying to tell me in an indirect way that Yunus wants to stay in power for the rest of his life. He's like one of those, like, one of our guys when we were in Nigeria, he's got into power. Bob's your uncle. We can make some money now, Bob, and we're going to stay there.
Yunus doesn't want to hold elections because once he holds elections, he'll
He's
have to
out.
leave power. He's out. NCP and all these, his supporters were the first one that would throw him out, right?
Right.
So I think he wants to somehow or the other just dilly dally on the elections bit, create some sort of a cure so that they can't have elections,
Yeah.
or even if they have elections, then sit back on the results and enjoy for some more time until he decides it, or he is forced to announce those results. But then
Yeah.
it won't make any sense. I mean, holding the election and not announcing the results, right?
It doesn't make any sense.
So that tells me maybe he
There'll
doesn't
be
want the
protests up
elections
and
to
down
happen.
there'll be protests up and down the street saying, "Where's the results?"
Yep.
And he does. I don't think he has the political, not will. He doesn't have the political power base to manipulate elections either. So what is
Yep.
he? Um, okay, right. Based on all this, what do you see the short term and the long term implications for India? How does India navigate this while navigating Pakistan and while navigating China? And by the way, I just read just now that Wang Yi just said, "Oh, he also took part in helping to negotiate an end to Operation Sindoor." And I'm like, what the hell? I mean, every man and his dog is now participating in this thing. I mean, like,
No, no.
really?
China actually participated in Operation Sindoor.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They get supplied all the weapons to Pakistan, and it got smashed.
Weapons, information, real-time information, everything was
Yeah,
there,
yeah,
and they had to sit back and watch and say, "Man, what the fuck? What the hell is Pakistan doing, mate? Getting all our equipment smashed."
yeah.
So,
Absolutely, and they got smashed. Absolutely
mhm.
smashed. But I had to respond to Khwaja Asif because I was on X, and I saw his tweet. And I said, really? And I said, look, this is a joke, and you have to consider it. But Donald Trump says he does it. Wang Yi is saying he's also participating. Very shortly, Erdogan, the Turkish president, is going to say, "Oh, I also took part in it." And I was, and all, I mean, it's obvious. It is obvious that Pakistan looks at it and says, by getting all these people to say say that, oh, they participated, even if he's just saying it will get the Indian opposition guys to say, look at that, Modi is not really great.
No, but that the people know, right? So the opposition can be saying whatever they want to say.
Yeah, they do, yeah.
The
They
people
don't understand.
understand. The people understand. The opposition doesn't understand that the people understand. That's where the problem with the Indian
That
opposition
is,
is. That's
yeah,
why
look,
they always keep doing the wrong line. And when they lose elections, they say that, oh, they've been defrauded.
yeah. But so it's look anyway. Narrative building is a thing, and I. So do you think? Okay, let me ask you this, right, Chaudhry? You follow this. You said we had regime change in Bangladesh. We had regime change in Sri Lanka. We just had regime change in Nepal. Um, do you think the sea or the Western powers or great power politics, this is going to create a situation where um, we might also have a situation like that, a change in government by mass protest?
Nah, India is too big for that. And the people in India are more and more mature.
Yeah,
They have a better understanding of politics, and there is an understanding of what they will attempt. They will try. They've been attempting to do that since what? Since 2019.
okay,
Whether it's the farmers' protest or whether it's the CAA protest, every year there's one new protest that comes up, right? What do you
yeah,
think that is? The farmers' protest lasted almost a year, over a year,
yeah, yeah,
and all they wanted were waiting for was for the police to open fire on the protesters.
Yeah.
and have a couple of people dead.
Yeah.
So it will go haywire, but that hasn't happened. It also, if you remember, the CAA protest as well, and the Delhi riots that followed that.
I think, look,
The
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 CAA
the
protest was
security
just,
forces the security forces were very very particular in ensuring that no force was used to put it
yeah,
down.
yeah.
They just allow it to peter out by itself, and that's what's been happening ever since.
Okay, so,
You know something, or let's say Nepal, okay,
yeah,
or let's go even to Bangladesh,
yeah,
and they try that in Leh as well. The Gen Z comes out in the street, okay, and
yeah.
then suddenly somebody is shot. Do you know all these guys that are shot in the middle of the head? And apparently they say that there are snipers who shoot these guy protesters. It also happened in Bangladesh. So somebody else instigates.
That's actually regime change number one. Or usually, what happened in Ukraine, right? They just
Mhm.
bring in all these special forces guys from other countries to do this shit. What happened in Ukraine, what's been happening around the world, right? Um,
It's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence
Absolutely not. In
because
India, it
even
will be
in
difficult.
Bangladesh, it's only when the police say they didn't shoot, right? Nepal also the police say they didn't shoot. In Leh, when the protest happened some a few months back, same thing happened.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? All right. So, in a nutshell, we're looking at a tumultuous 2026 for India, I'm assuming, where there's going to be a lot of challenges for India, both in the west and in the east. And hopefully, we're not facing the dragon too much. What do you what are some of the great things you're expecting out of India, and what are some of the challenges you think you will happen to India?
So the thing is not having challenges around; it is overcoming them.
Hmm.
So I believe we have the right people at the right time in India that
Hmm.
have a way of navigating over these challenges.
Yeah.
Uh, for example, 50% tariffs on you, right? 25% tariff and 25% penalties on your exports to
Yeah.
America.
Yeah.
Do you know that actually the Indian exports to America increased after the tariffs by 14 or 15%?
I didn't. No, I didn't. How? With 50% tariff?
so, so that tells you they have a way of doing stuff, right? And
You got to trust the
the,
Gujaratis are coming up with some fucking
the
shonky deal, isn't it?
the economy in the second quarter shot up to 8.2,
Yeah.
the GDP.
Yeah. I thought that was not non-American though. Was it?
What the exports?
Yeah.
I'm specifically saying exports, of course, shot up, but then the exports to America, instead of going down, they went up by 14%.
What? Okay. With 50% tariff.
Yes. So we say that the Americans said, okay, fine, we will, not Trump, but his people said, okay, we'll buy it. And then you had people coming in like Google, Amazon, and a few others, OpenAI,
Amazing. Amazon, you mean?
Amazon, Amazon coming in to invest into India.
Yeah.
And in the meantime,
Hmm.
there's still no sign of the FTA with America.
No, that's disappeared actually. Come to think of it. What's happening there?
So
Oh
it's
well.
almost 1 year since this discussion started, right? Because Modi was one of the first persons to go visit Trump in
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Feb last year. It's almost a year
Yeah.
now.
Yeah,
They
it's
said, "Oh,
almost
we
it.
are working on the trade agreement and it's coming," and then that will buy the F-35s and what have you, and everything else that's not
Yeah.
required from the Americans. And today, Piyush Goyal says, "Oh, we are still talking about it." But in the
Yeah.
meantime, India has said firmly, "We have red lines. You can't cross them."
Yeah.
If you like, come and sign the dotted agreement. If not, we'll just continue talking about it.
Yeah.
And on the sidelines, India has done free trade agreements with a number of countries
Yeah. The
during that
UK,
time.
New Zealand, I think
New
Australia,
Zealand, UAE,
UAE. Yeah.
Oman, and a few other countries as well. And apparently, the free trade agreement with Europe would be signed around the 26th January this
Mm.
year.
Okay.
So they have what? Okay, they had tariffs, but then they also then found ways of diversifying their exports.
I think that's the only way out, man.
That's
Diversify.
the only way out. So, like I said,
Yeah.
I think we have some right people in the right places at the right time,
Yeah.
and I don't see much of a challenge them overcoming those challenges that India is going to face. But
Yeah.
Bangladesh, going back to Bangladesh, I don't think Bangladesh will be very peaceful. I see the divide there getting bigger and people fighting. So you probably would say sort of a civil war would come up there, and I see Bangladesh is going down the way that Syria and other countries, Sudan went through.
That's a sad thing. And on that absolute bombshell of a statement from Alok, where he thinks that he reckons he's seeing Bangladesh going down the route of Syria, Somalia, we'll have to bring this conversation to a close. For those of you who are new to our platform, to our to Borders and Beyond, thank you very much for looking, coming and checking us out. Please subscribe. It's been an insightful conversation and a brilliant conversation. Alok, you've taught me a lot of things today, and thank you very much. And I appreciate everything. Do you have anything to say to our followers?
Yes, before I get to that, Chaku, one thing that we didn't talk about was the Bangladeshi army, right?
Okay, yeah,
So,
yeah. If you want,
Bangladeshi army, you would think that it is one united army and that they would have the power to hold the country together. But
yeah,
within the army itself, there are different factions. There are factions
okay,
that support Sheikh Hasina. You have factions that support Khalida Zia, and then you have factions that are supporting the Jamaat and others as well, right?
yeah,
So when I said that I see Bangladesh going down the Syria way, it's just because of that.
okay. You have a suspicion that the army is going to break up.
Yes, and then there is also discussion in Bangladesh where they want to have a force set up like the one in Iran,
The IRGC,
something like the IRGC.
the Islamic Revolutionary Guards, like
Yes,
a set
something
of
like
revolution.
that. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay. Wow,
So
that's going to be interesting, isn't it?
it is interesting in that way. Well,
So
Jaco, thanks for your
Guardians
time,
of the
and
Revolution.
yeah,
Okay, going to so we are looking at interesting and challenging times.
yeah, with Sharia, them trying to bring Sharia in, but not many people in Bangladesh subscribe to that theory. So yeah, it is going to be very interesting in the days to come.
Okay. Well, once on that lovely note, Chaudhry, do you have anything else to say to our fans? And we can then close this off.
Yeah. So to our fans, it is please like, subscribe, and comment,
Yeah. Yeah.
and thank you for your time.
Brilliant. Okay. Well, that was nice and short. I wish I could keep things that short. It's great talking to you, Alok. Let's do this again. We'll come up with a subject line that I know, some of the things. There are certain things that you're passionate about, and we'll talk about them. Appreciate your insight. You have taught me a lot of things today, and yeah, food for thought for everyone. On that
And
lovely
we
note,
learn from each other, right? So
yeah,
that's
yes,
like
we do, mate. You more than I mean, you teach me more than I teach you, so it's brilliant. And I appreciate that. Thank you very much. And let's close this off. All right,
right, right. Take care. Bye, everyone.
bye.